Hey guys, Dave here, back with another video. I just wanted to make another quick video about my Tesla position and what I've done with it. I always try to be completely transparent with any moves that I make, and also do so in a timely fashion so people don't find out, like, 3 months later that I sold a position, and then, they might think, oh, I wish I knew that back then. So, the news is that last Friday, I sold my Tesla call option position. It was a 1200 strike for January 20th, 2023. So I guess we're looking at about 8 months left. No, probably, yeah, about 8 months. So we're actually kind of getting closer to the end of the line on that one, and I'm glad to sell the position. I wasn't one I was planning to hold until the expiration date, so we took a profit, and I'm gonna go ahead and show you the details of the trade in case you're interested, and you can take this into account in your own moves. So this is the trade, guys. You can see that I sold my call option over here for 19,600 American. I originally bought it for 14,600 American, so that's a $5,000 even profit, exact. That was just kind of how it worked out when I was looking to put in my limit order. It seemed like a good price to get out at. So that trade executed on Friday. My thought process at the time was that, I don't want to hold this to expiration. Tesla's a volatile stock. There's always the chance that the stock will end the year below $1,200, and therefore this option will be worth nothing. And I definitely have to keep that in mind as I'm holding this stock or the stock option. So I wanted to buy it when I bought this option when the stock seemed a little oversold to me. And as soon as it got towards the overbought end of things and bounced back, I wanted to take that profit. And I was also thinking Tesla deliveries were going to be announced over the weekend, as well as their production numbers for the first quarter of 2022. I thought there may be a potential for a miss on those numbers due to supply chain headwinds, Shanghai factory being shut down, just a lot of challenges for the whole industry right now. So I thought it was possible they could miss those numbers. That could hurt the stock, and just didn't really want to take that risk on that option when I already had a $5,000 profit in the bag. If it had a big drop the next Monday, I could be back down even. So I took the profits, and let's take a look at the chart here. Now, I originally probably bought this option early February, so around here, I would say. At the time, it was probably about $900 a share. Definitely didn't time it perfectly. You'll never time these things perfectly. It's impossible. You're just trying to make some money. So we had gone from this peak, and as I'm a big Tesla bull, I felt it was oversold. I felt it was a very strong company that was growing. So I bought in right here. And as we can see, we've actually been down for the majority of this trade. So we dropped all the way to, mid 700s. And if I had sold back then, I would have taken a big loss, but I was confident that the stock would rebound eventually, and it has. I mean, we can see from the chart, this is quite a volatile stock, right? So the big catalyst was a stock split that was announced really for Tesla, among other things. And we finally had as well as, macro changes. But we finally had a nice run up here. I thought there might be a little bit of more room to run, but then when we kind of had a dip, I decided to sell on the Friday just in case there was any bad quarterly numbers. So I took my money, I took my profits. Pretty happy with that return. As it turns out, we did jump up again on the Monday. So if I had held on an extra day, I probably could have made a good chunk of change, more money. We're probably, this little bit right here is probably worth $1,000, I would say, in terms of how much the underlying option value would have moved. But we played it safe, which is fine. We wanted to take our profits. If you try to time it absolutely perfectly, all these things, you'll get burned eventually. You know, you'll hold on too long and it'll drop or whatever. So that's what I did. Even though there was more money to be made on the table there, not gonna be too down on myself. So what happened on Monday to cause this big jump that I didn't expect? So we, over the weekend, got vehicle delivery and production numbers. So we have 310,000 deliveries, but I really pay more attention to production. Tesla's supply demand constrained, not demand constrained. So however many vehicles they produce, they're going to sell them eventually, whatever quarter they happen to fall in. So I'm really just focused on how much they're able to grow their vehicle production. And it was 305,000. So analysts expected on average deliveries of 317,000 vehicles for the quarter. So 310,000 is actually below the consensus. Usually when you see a miss, I mean, it is a small miss, but usually when you see a miss like this, the stock would actually be punished for it. That didn't happen today. So other news items, Tesla unable to start production back up at their Shanghai factory. That's due to a COVID outbreak in the country. So their biggest factory, their biggest producer of vehicles, is sitting idle right now. I thought that could potentially be another headwind, but the stock is just shaking it all off and is up another 5.6% today. Honestly, think this might have to do a bit with just Elon Musk being in the news, taking a 9% stake in Twitter, which actually has nothing to do with Tesla whatsoever. But I'm not saying the stock doesn't justify this price, because I think in the long run it does. But that's the problem with trying to play the short-term game. It's very difficult. You never know what's going to happen. So could I have made more money? Yes. Could I have ended up losing money on this trade? Yes. So at the end of the day, I made $5,000. Could have made $6,000, could have lost $5,000. So you know what? I'm not going to get too upset about this. And if you're making trades like this, don't get too upset about it either. It's impossible to be right about everything. And you could argue even in some cases that the market's wrong about things and you're right. So you're even betting on the market as opposed to the underlying value of the company. So betting on when the market will see the value of something is extremely, extremely difficult. Okay, so bottom line, we made $5,000 on a $14,600 investment over 2 months. That equates to a 34.2% return. Now, that would be a great return for a year. For a lot of companies, that'd be a good return for 3 years. So we made that in 2 months. If you annualize that return, that's 205%. It's absolutely amazing. It's more than a double. So as I said, it's important not to get too down on when you sell. And if you could have made a bit more money, you really have to be your own therapist and your own psychologist and just think about these things rationally, play it safe, take your returns, and don't get overly emotional about these things, about money that could have been made or could have been lost even. So if we compare it with if I had just bought the stock instead of the option, because you always want to compare that. I did take on additional risk in terms of the time factor by buying the option as opposed to the stock. If we had bought the stock itself, we would have made a 15% return. So by buying the option, we over doubled the return on investment there. 15% still would have been a good return. Nothing wrong with buying the stock there. But this strategy I have been following basically is extremely simple. I think the simpler you can keep things as an investor, the better you'll be off. So basically, I'm just I believe in Tesla very strongly. I wait until I see it's oversold, and then I buy a call option, wait for it to revert to the mean, which it inevitably will. and it tends to result in a good return. I've made 5 of these trades now. Every single one I've made a significant profit on. So I plan to keep doing it. And the next time I see a big drop in Tesla, I will likely buy a call option and make a video on it. That's it for now. If you found this interesting, please do consider liking, subscribing. It really helps the channel. And I'll see you guys next time. Thanks. Bye.